In this video, I'm going to share the very worst thing you can do, the single worst thing you can do when closing a deal. And I don't care if you're closing a deal for lead generation, if you're closing a deal for SEO, if you're closing a web design deal, if you're closing a consulting gig, or if you're selling bottled water, okay, to a company, or maybe just a single bottle. This is the very worst thing that you can do when closing a deal. Now, before I go into that, really briefly, just so you know that I'm not just pulling this out my ass or I just Googled this. I have been doing sales since 2013, real sales, okay? Not where people came to me, but where I went to people. I went and did door-to-door sales selling home security system. Selling home security systems. Had a little too much caffeine today, okay? From there, I went and pre-sold a software product that never actually got built. Had to refund everyone's money, but I was selling, okay? And started selling digital. Then we started selling SEO. Then we started selling SMMA services. Then we started, and on until we started figuring out, okay, lead generation's the game, digital real estate's the game, and not just is it the game, but we got to sell flat fee lead generation. We got to pre-sell the flat fee lead generation. Guys, I've been doing sales a long time. I can't even tell you how many times I've done role plays, how many times I've gone for the close, how many prospecting calls I've done, how many cold calls I've done, how many times I got the door slammed in my face. It's too many to count. And I'm leading with that because do not listen to anyone that has not done what they're talking about, okay? So with that said, guys, here's the very worst thing that you could do when going to close a deal. It is if you go into a deal and you get near the end and you go and ask a yes, no question at the end of the deal, you are going to lose the deal. There is a 90% chance you're going to lose the deal. And I'm going to give you an example, okay? So what a lot of new people in sales do is they'll get to the end and they go through everything, and maybe they're in the program, digital landlords. They got the script, the whole deal. They get to the end, and they can feel it, like, oh, it's coming. It's coming to that awkward part. Like, I got to ask for the deal, right? And when you haven't done this, it is a little awkward in the beginning. So they get to the bottom of the script, and we have a specific way. We teach an assumption/option close, the Amex or Visa type of thing. And what people do as default, because it's human nature and because this is kind of how we've been taught and raised, is instead of just assuming the close, because that would be weird, right? It's not at all, but that's what you think, is they get nervous and they go to this yes, no. So for example, they'll go to the end and go, okay, Bill, like I said, it's $2,500 a month. It's a 6-month contract. It's a 6-month contract, blah, 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 blah. So, do you want to move forward? So are we good to go? Are you good? Are you in? Like, no, dude, no. Okay. No. Or they'll say, so what do you think? What do you think? Guys, asking that type of a question, especially the yes, no question, is almost guaranteed a no. Okay. Because they're not going to say yes. The only time you're going to get a yes is if that person is so sold that you probably could have not even run the call. You could have just sent them a screencast and give them a payment link and said, hey, we'll talk to you in 6 months. Like, that's the only type of person that you're going to close. Do not ask a yes, no question. Do not get to the end and say, are you ready to move forward? Right? You're going to get a no. Of course, switch your mindset, right? This is how you do it. That's what you don't do. This is what you do, is you switch your mindset, and it's like, of course you're going to do it. And I don't mean that you have to force them, but like, think about it, guys. Think about it. You called this person. They were already paying for advertising, okay? Most likely. Maybe they weren't. Who cares? You gave them something that they're already paying for, or in the case that they weren't, that they need, right? And you gave it to them for free. And you've invested time. They've invested time. You've talked on the phone. You've text messaged. You've done the live transfers, blah, blah, blah. Then you've talked to them in between. Every time you get a lead, you're talking to them. You're having those conversations. You're texting, whatever it is. Maybe you're emailing. Then you're sending a screencast where you're going to eliminate those objections up front. They've spent 15, 20 minutes watching that. Then you hopped onto a Zoom call and you've spent 45 minutes to an hour. So when I get to the end of a call, this is my mind is like, you didn't just spend all that time, take those leads for free to waste my time or to waste your time. This makes sense. You're already paying for it. You know this is a better service. You just told me that you don't like whoever you're working with. You just told me you want to grow. You just, like all of these different things. Of course you're going to do it. So when I get to the end, I'm like, all right, sounds good. Give me a card and we'll get going. Is it an Amex or Visa? Like, I'm just asking for it. right? Like it's done. You've already agreed to it and we're moving forward. And you know what? Sometimes I don't actually know where the deal stands because they don't give me the right signals, or they're quiet, or maybe they're giving me some missed signals where you're kind of thinking that they're not interested. Doesn't matter. I'm going for the deal. I'm going to do the assumption close. I'm going to use all right, I got to grab a card from you and we'll get you started. Or, hey, let me grab an email. What's the best email to send these leads to? Okay, awesome. Jot it down. Okay, awesome. Let me grab a card from you. I'm going to send you over an authorization and we'll get this thing going. Would you like to do weekly or monthly payments? Boom, something like that. Just assume. Guys, if you want to lose a deal, ask a yes/no question. Ask a yes/no question at the end of your deal, and I promise you, you will lose a deal faster than you can start whatever. It's the worst thing that you can do. This is from 10 years of experience, watching reps do it over and over and over again. The only people that are going to say yes are the people that are so sold that anybody could have sold them, and you ain't going to run into them that much. So make sure you start assuming and you stop asking.